Evening, welcome to the Derby debrief from RamsTV, live from Pride Park Stadium. Owen Bradley with former Derby captain Shaun alongside, here to reflect on another Derby County win. The unbeaten run goes on, not just in the league but all competitions, up to 18 games overall now. Derby beating 5th in the in League One, I should say, Bolton today by 2-1. Nathaniel Mendez-Laing and Conor Harahan with the goals. The Rams conceded right at the very end just to take the polish off things, Shaun, but not too much because this was 4th against 5th and Derby came out on top.
They did. They were the better team over 90 minutes. They were more clinical, looked kind of the better team in that final third. Bolton had decent play at times and were tidy in possession, but never really threatened the Derby defence, and they hadn't over the two games. So I thought we had control. We needed that first goal, which we got, and it was a great goal from Mendez-Laing. The second half started really scrappy, and that second goal just settled everything. It was a wonderful team goal, which Harahan dispatched. So, in terms of the context, the size of the game, the importance of the game, 30,000 here at Pride Park watching, everything that you look at is a positive.
And that's borne out by the numbers, and we saw them there, the possession stats in particular. Bolton had more of the ball, but Derby had more chances. They had more shots on goal, more shots on target, more goals, obviously. And I don't know about you, but I never felt overly concerned for Derby at any point today.
I didn't, and I don't think Bolton were aggressive enough in that final third. In the first 60, 70 minutes of the game, very rarely did they have shots, crosses. They didn't test the back line. And that's the flip compared to Derby. We used our width well. Mendez-Laing and Barkhuizen were standouts. They were getting crosses into the box. They were arriving late into the box. We were tentative, I thought, in the first 20 minutes to get our shots off and to test the goalkeeper. But once we got the first goal, you never really felt like Bolton had enough creativity, had enough to work out how we were pressing and how to deal with that kind of aggression on the front foot out of possession from us. So some games are kind of won or lost on bits of quality, and I think the second goal just meant there was too much for Bolton to get back into it. And
Bolton from Berks will reflect on the big moments as well. First, let's bring you some reaction. Here's the head coach, Paul Warne.
Yeah, really pleased. Against a really good team. I thought a bit like the game at their place, really. We cancelled each other out in long periods. But yeah, really pleased with the performance. I thought both goals were really good. And as the game went on from 60 minutes onwards, I thought we were really in the ascendancy. I didn't see them scoring then, although ironically they did in the last minute. But we just looked at a fit, organised side who, can get around teams, and we, obviously we like to press, and we don't want teams to come here and feel comfortable. They can go across their goalkeeper and take their time, and the effort from the front three at times was exemplary, backed up with the midfield, and marshalled quite well at the back. So I haven't really got many complaints. I have, obviously, but I'm not going to share them. But little details I'd always like to improve on. But yeah, generally really proud of what the lads have done today.
There was a moment where Nathaniel Mendez-Laing gave the ball away in the attacking third and then raced back to his own corner flag to win it back. Is that the sort of moment that sort of typifies what you want from this team?
Yeah, really. I mean, you can ask him. I always say to him, like, be positive when you get the ball. If you make a mistake, that's absolutely fine. Just, run your blood to stone and get it back. And, he did it. When Colo came on, Colo ran past 3 players to try and help. And yeah, it's pretty an indictment of the team, really. I think Knighty does it really well as well, so it's just difficult to play against, and they're outstanding players, there's no disputing that. But if you're outstanding players who work harder than the opposition, you always give yourself an amazing chance to win a football game. And I thought, and I am biased and I haven't watched it back, but on the whole I thought we probably tipped it today against a really good Bolton side who are in good form themselves.
You mentioned the goals, really good goals, both of them, and you're now getting goals from all over the pitch. How pleased are you with that?
Yeah, really pleased. I'm still disappointed we aren't scoring off set pieces. That's my bugbear, because I think sometimes in tight games a set piece can win you a game. We keep relying on amazing goals. Last week we scored 3 really good ones, today 2, and yeah, goals are coming from different people. We've done quite a lot this week, or tried to, in the conditions of final deliveries in, and just being a bit more concise, and yeah, it paid off. 2 great goals. Obviously I'm asking the the wide men to chip in and for Nat to score, and then for Tom to do a deft header set up. I mean, it is coachable because we've obviously taught him that, but a little deft head assist. And Connor, I never doubted him to score, to be honest. And when he got through like that, he's got he probably had his heart rate at about 60, a bit like Fars, like a serial killer, and he's calm as a cucumber. So good to go 2-0 up. Yeah, and everyone's chipping in. That's what it's all about. There can't be a pressure on just Colo and Dinsey to score every week, although there is a pressure on them to score every week. But the more players chip in, the better. And like, everyone wants to score goals. Everyone wants to make memories in that dressing room. They're trying their best. And today, you know, I said to him beforehand that we'll know what we're about after today, I think. And I'm not saying that we've got it sussed. We haven't. But since we've been in against the better teams in the league, we've struggled. Not struggled in performance, but struggled to come away with 3 points. So that's a really good win against a very good team.
I know that the last minute goal will annoy you, will rankle a little bit, but the defence, you had to make 2 changes today, and for the most part they didn't skip a beat, did they? Curtis Davis and Hayden Roberts coming back in.
No, really impressive, and that's testament to the fitness team and that here. That, you know, and it's always about, and I say it and the lads get bored with me, but it's always about the group, not about the 11, because the 11 are great today, but it will be possibly a different 11 on Saturday, and you always need people to come in. So if Hayden and, not that this would happen, but if Hayden and the Curtis, undertrained or just give it up a little bit and decide to have an extra scoop of ice cream every day, and then when called upon, they'd let the whole team down, and that isn't the case. And like I said, it's testament to the staff at this football club and the players themselves. So I thought they stepped in, done really well, and you could see at times they were trying to draw our fullbacks out and spin down the side of our centre halves, and because neither of them are lightning quick, I'd be fair to say, but most centre halves aren't. But they tried to isolate him, and every time they did, they came up trumps. So fair play to all the team, but especially the lads who came in today.
No Aaron Cash and no Louis Sibley. How are they both doing?
Cash, last week at Cheltenham, I got told at half time he was a little bit tight, so I took him off as soon as I could. It wasn't a risk supposedly, but it sort of turned into one really. But he might be available for Tuesday night. We've done, as I have with all the players, that I won't take a risk. There's no point in being out for 6 weeks. He might as well miss one game really. So we're pretty confident he might be able to play Tuesday, but whether I risk him on that pitch is another matter. It's a big pitch. And Sibs, we've been fortunate enough to get on the grass this week with the facilities, but just been a bit slippy, the pitch. A few of the lads have complained about groins and lower backs, and unfortunately Sibs yesterday pulled up in training and just said he felt something. So I don't honestly know. He'll get a scan on Monday. My gut is that he'll be out for 2 weeks, possibly. So I don't think we'll see him before the West Ham game.
Just finally, Tony Springett, you were able to get him on and give him a few minutes, and he showed straight away that chasing and harrying and hassling, that's what he's all about, right? Yeah, bless him. It was quite funny because when he came off, he went, "Oh, Gaff, I just had an adrenaline dump," which means you get such a rush, and then it's like, "Oh my God, what's happened to me here? My legs are gone." So bless him. But it'll come on. You can see the energy he's got and how he wants to play. He's a great crosser of the ball, and hopefully next time he comes on, he won't have an adrenaline dump. He'll just have an adrenaline rush, which is maintainable. But pleased for him, and we're fortunate that we've got some good subs to put on. Well done today, Paul. Paul Warren, entertaining as always, and happy Shaun, and he should be with the run that his side are on, and the win today, and they scored, as he was saying, 2 really good goals, and this team scores good goals.
They do. Obviously, he's mentioned that he wants to score more from set pieces because he understands the importance of tight games and how effective they can be. But we just seem to score fantastic goals, especially here at Pride Park, and also at good times, really good times. The first one, we'd had a couple of signs of getting into that final third and getting into the penalty area without really creating too many chances at goal. It was a brilliant ball from Smith. I have to say, a wonderful refereeing to let it continue when Jason Knight was flattened. Smith played the ball ahead of Barkhazen, which just allowed him to get his head up, allow the ball to come across without taking a touch. Brilliant ball to the front post. Instantly we thought it was a own goal, but when on reflection and looking back, you can see that Mendes Lang allows it to come across his body, left foot, and directs it back into the goal. So great first goal. The second one, what a team goal it was, and we seem to say that every week. I think it was Mendes Lang that held the ball up, played it back. Max Bird picked out a wonderful pass to Barkhazen, and that lovely little header back into the third man running, which is Harahan. We've heard that he needs to be asked to do that a little bit more often over the last 3 or 4 weeks. He has done, and he's come up with the goods.
Joe Wildsmith didn't have much to do, really, and we've said that about him in a lot of the performances, but he comes for catches. His distribution's been great, so it's not as if he doesn't play a part. How much of a blot on the Derby copybook is that late goal? They were seconds away from a 7th consecutive clean sheet at home.
Well, Fozzie and Curtis Davis will be fuming going into there. They'll be pleased with the performance, pleased with the result, but as a centre-half, as a defender, you strive on getting clean sheets.
And these are the standards that Derby set for themselves, isn't it?
It is, and it should be the standards you set for yourself personally, no matter where you play, whichever manager you're under. As a centre-half, as a defender, as a goalkeeper, you're there to keep clean sheets first and foremost. And when you're in such good form and conceding very few goals, it seems to become almost more important because you know you can do it week in, week out. And I thought Fozzie, again, was excellent. He had a couple of moments in the first half where it maybe made a bad decision, but the second half he was brilliant, always in the right place, always in the right position, defended the box well. And I thought it was out when I first saw it, but maybe he just puts his foot through it. And I saw the frustration in him when the final whistle went. He went down, head down, kind of almost kicked the floor in frustration. And that's because he wants clean sheets and because it matters to him.
You'll hear from Nathaniel Mendes-Lang in just a second, and we'll show you what it all means for the League One table too. I just wonder though, Shaun, did today, and I know this is a thing that the media like to do, talk about statement wins and that sort of things, but did today sort of show that Derby should be considered one of the top 4 rather than the top 3 and one of the rest, if you know what I mean, by beating the side that they were level on points, 4th and 5th in the table? Have they sort of created that little bit of separation, you think?
I'm not sure about separation. I think they've created almost the pinnacle of what this season's come to at this point. We've seen a transition from the old manager to the new. We've seen his style and philosophy and what he demands of the players gradually kind of filtering through into his performances and the team and the players understanding it. We find it very hard to win games in the first month or two with lots of draws, but you can see us getting somewhere. And I think the run of late has probably the pinnacle of that is beating Bolton here at Pride Park. 2 teams full of confidence, both in form, both, I would have thought, fancying this game to take it to the opposition, to really say this is our opportunity to make a statement. What we can do is keep on putting the pressure on those above us, keep on winning our games, keep on looking as assured as we do week in, week out. And you never know where that will take you. But at this point in time, the manager just wants this to continue. He wants the players to continue performing as they are and picking up wonderful results.
And Derby will try and do it again on Tuesday night, a game you can watch, of course, on RamsTV. Let's bring you some more reaction. We can hear from Nathaniel Mendes-Lang. First things first, was the goal his or not?
100%, no doubt about it. The ball's gone exactly where I wanted it to go. I don't know why it's in question, but yeah, 3 points, take it all day.
How pleased are you to get another win, 5 in a row now?
Yeah, it's massive. You know, we know that we need to start beating these bigger teams, by teams who are there and thereabouts us. So it's a good marker to set out, and the boys are buzzing in there. Keeping this run going, it does a lot for the confidence of all the players. So a long way to continue.
I think it's 18 unbeaten now, 12 unbeaten in the league, 5 straight wins. Can keep going with the numbers. Is there such a sense of confidence before every game that you almost go out there and know you're going to win these matches?
Look, like I just said out there, there's a fine line between arrogance and confidence, and I think with the squad that we've got, the quality and the run that we're on, that does a lot for us confidence-wise. So I think when we're lining up to go out, we are very confident, but we know we have to go out there and perform. So I mean, get on that pitch regardless of anything else. Like, we have to turn up and perform. And look, if someone beats us and we've given it our all, then fair play. But we are very confident at the moment.
There was a moment in the first half when you were 1-0 up. You passed the ball. It was intercepted in the attacking third, and you ran full length of the pitch to win it back, defensive third. Is that what the head coach has sort of instilled in you guys? Yeah, look,
we run for each other. Like I gave the ball away in that instance, but I'm sure, like, I see the running at night he does every game, and whether he's running for me to close down my man or whatnot. So, we're all pulling in the same direction. So, look, if that's what it takes to get us the 3 points, then we've all got to do it for each other.
Talk to me about Tom Barkhuizen. He set you up today. You set him up previously. You're both in the goals. You're both setting up a goals as well. How do you pair get on?
Yeah, very well. We always have a bit of banter at the training ground. He's in a great run of form at the moment, scoring goals, creating goals. I'm buzzing for him as well because I know it gets to him when he's not amongst it. So, we've got even the boys who come on. Dobbs and Tony. We've got good players in all areas now, and there's good competition for places.
Tony looks quick, eh?
Yeah, I've seen him in training. He's very sharp, he's very quick, and he's got a lot of energy. So I'm excited to see him in more games.
And how are the legs feeling? Because you go again Tuesday night.
Yeah, obviously tired at the moment, but we've got a day to recover, and then start preparations for Tuesday. We've got to go home, do the right things, and recover well. So yeah, we'll be fine.
Well done today. Cheers, thank you. Nathaniel Mendez-Lang there. Results from League One today. 4 games lost to the Elements, including the game at Peterborough, which was quite a late postponement, the game against Charlton. Of the games that did go ahead, big win for Barnsley against Accrington, struggling down toward the bottom of the table. Milton Keynes Dons came from behind to win at Forest Green. Bad result for them. I think they're still bottom. We'll check the table in a second or two. Ipswich conceded a late winner away at Oxford. It means that Derby have closed the gap to 3rd place in the table at least. Not to the top 2 though after Plymouth's 4-2 win over Cheltenham. Cheltenham made that interesting for long spells, and Marvin Johnson's goal was enough for Sheffield Wednesday to beat Fleetwood, so they stay in the top 2. A big win for Shrewsbury as well, 5-1 over Cambridge. This is the table then. Still Plymouth leading from Sheffield Wednesday. The gap between them and Ipswich now up to 7 points. The gap between Ipswich and Derby down to just 4, and Derby have that game in hand as well. Barnsley, Bolton, the other sides in the top 6 at the other end. Forest Green are still bottom of the table. MK Dons, the side making the biggest move this afternoon. That's all from us for now. If you want more reaction, it's on the website, dcfc.co.uk. We're back Tuesday. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. It's